The ModRetro Chromatic is probably my most favorite thing to come out this year. I really love this device. It's a Game Boy Color clone console, FPGA, but there's so much cool stuff going on here. The magnesium alloy shell, the sapphire screen that perfectly replicates pixel by pixel the original screen, but just way better, right? I did do a video on the one that they sent me for purpose review, and yes, I do really love this thing. So it wasn't just like, hey, I got one for review and that was it. No, I bought one. This is the one that I bought. I also bought this one. I still have another one on the way to me. Plus all the games, the launch games that I pre-ordered day one. Where are they, ModRetro? You said on December 2nd that they were shipping. I still have not received them. They still haven't shipped. But that's beside the point. I'm looking forward to that stuff. But what I wanted to talk about today was a couple things to do with this device. I noticed that they put out the firmware update utility is now live. So I wanted to run through that. I already ran through it once on one of these devices and did see that, yeah, there actually is an update to the firmware and there has been some changes. Plus also something that I did not talk about in my initial video, which is something that could be very beneficial to a lot of people. And that is being able to capture footage from a chromatic, which could be beneficial for, people who want to live stream this stuff, capture footage for YouTube videos, or even just get it set up and put it up on the big screen and play at home instead of just playing on, this little screen, even though this screen is beautiful. That's all I got to say with that. But let's go ahead and jump into that because there are a couple little things that I want to, mention with these, especially the capture stuff. But first, let's take a look at the utility. So let's zoom up a little bit. The utility is available to download just by going on the website and clicking that banner. It's for Windows 10 and 11. It says Mac and Linux coming soon. So you just download it. So once you download it, it'll just run through like installing itself or whatever. It might pop up that, hey, Windows blocked it because they say because it's such a new application, you can just say, hey, it's good. But once you, actually run it, this little update window will come up. You'll have to have USB cable plugged into your PC. And I'm going to show you real quick what this one currently is at, because this is on the stock, what was sent to me on this device. So if you hit the menu button and you go over, it shows firmware is 0.11.2 and then the FPGA is version 16. So that's what's on this. Once we get that updated, it's going to be on what I have on this one, which is firmware version 0.12.3 and FPGA version 18. Oh, another thing I want to show you. I don't think, I didn't notice this before, but there's a shortcut if you want to change the brightness of the screen. You hold the menu button and you hit left and right without having to go into the menu. So that's something I just wanted to point out in case you didn't know that, because normally you'd have to go into the menu, go over there, hit A and B, right, to change the brightness and press menu to get out. But yeah, if you just hold menu, press left and right, you can change the brightness. So cool. Okay, let's go ahead and update the firmware on this device. So I'm just going to take the cartridge out. I don't know that you need to have the cartridge out, but it says connect it, turn it on, screen's on. Now it's checking the firmware. It'll probably on my computer, I don't know, it says on the website, like it may say like, hey, it doesn't know what firmware is currently on it. Yeah, as you can see, cannot detect device version, update anyway. It said that on my GameStop exclusive version as well. So we just click update and it's going to update the firmware. It'll take a minute or two. And once it's done, it's going to cycle back to like, hey, I don't know what firmware you're on. But once it gets to that point, you're done. I don't know why this update utility does that, but yeah. And don't trip on stuff like that. It says, oh, USB device not recognized. Did the same thing with my other one. Yeah, update anyway. No, we're good. So I can just power off, take it out, put a cartridge back in, and then hit the menu button and show you firmware version 0.12.3, FPGA version 18. So we got that going. And you can go to the GitHub and it'll show you the changelog. So, I mean, there's not a lot going on, but it says version 18, improved button debalancing, fixed fully mute game audio when speaker wheel is turned to minimum. Silent mode mutes all device audio. Suppress invalid D-pad inputs to correct character sprite glitch. Color decoding bug corrected. And a few other things. So yeah, you can check the GitHub on the actual changelog for that stuff. But now let's move on to real quick capturing footage. So OBS Studio is what we're going to be using. They do run through on their website how to do this, but there is a couple little things. So let's just get this up. So now say you want to capture two, okay? Say you want to capture two of these devices. Let me get both of them powered on. So we got this one on, and then we got this one turned on now anyway. So I'm going to go to menu on this one and then go over, where is it? Oh, down to here, player number. So I was like, what the hell does that even mean? But apparently you could use that for this purpose. So I'm going to put this one to player number 2. Because when we plug this into the PC, it's going to be recognized as a webcam, apparently. And if we put one to player number 2, it's going to be recognized as a separate device on here versus, this one. So this one's player 1, this one's player 2. So they're going to be two separate devices. If they were both left at player 1, it'd kind of be messed up. It'd be trying to recognize it as the same device. So player 2 on that one. But let's go ahead and set this up. So on OBS, you're going to have a scene, and then you're going to create, or you're going to add to a source a video capture device. So I'm going to plug this USB cable back into this one. I'm going to go chromatic 1. Okay. And chromatic, it just pops up, chromatic player 1. So as you see, look at that. It's like upside down and weird. So what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down and hit flip vertically. And then it's going to correct itself. You're going to click OK. And then on that source, right click, go to filters, and then add a filter. And you're going to add scaling aspect ratio. You can name it if you want, but just click OK. Then go to resolution and click 1:1. And then just click close. And you're going to notice, look at that little tiny fella right there. Can't do nothing with that. But if you right click on the source and then you go to transform, you can go to fit to screen and it's going to fit to screen. Now we got that one in there. So that's going to reflect what we're doing. But let's get the second one on there. So I don't want this one to completely fit the screen anymore. I'm gonna want this one like over here. So the second one, which we have as player 2, I'm gonna plug in another cable. I'm gonna hit plus to add another video capture device. I'm gonna put chromatic 2, hit OK. Select chromatic 2. Hopefully it recognizes it. There it goes. Okay, so just a little tiny bit of troubleshooting. I had it plugged into a different USB port. It wasn't showing up right away. I just changed USB ports, deactivated, reactivated. I'm on player number 2. It showed up. So I'm just going to do the same exact thing. Flip vertically. It's going to correct itself. Click OK. And then go back in there to filters, hit plus, scaling aspect ratio, change it to 1:1, close it. I'll just fit the screen, that way I can quickly kind of. But as you see, we can now, like, let me make another user. So you can have like two people competing against each other, but as you could probably tell, we have no audio. in OBS from either of these devices. They are currently supposed to be working on a way to get audio to come through USB-C to be able to be caught through that, to capture it. But right now, the only workaround for that is to use a 3.5 millimeter audio, cable, plug it into the jack underneath on your Chromatic, plug it into your PC, and then create an audio input capture. And essentially, you'll have to, select default or whatever it's recognized as, and it'll capture the audio. So on my laptop here, I don't have, it's just headphone jack. It won't capture audio. So I did capture a clip of that on my PC. But I don't know if it's just the quality of my cables or the input on my PC, but it does sound a little fuzzy. So I'm hoping they get the USB-C cable thing worked out to capture audio, because I think this is pretty sweet. So I mean, that's just one way to go about it. It does work with the extra cable, but yeah, as of this time, doing it this way, you're gonna have to have the audio come through the actual speaker of this, or plug in, to capture audio, you're gonna have to plug it in that way. It was, like I said, a little staticky, I guess, through the cable to my PC, but headphones, it sounds fine, sounds clear. So yeah, it's not an issue with the actual jack on the device. It was a PC thing or my cable. I don't freaking know. I tried 2 different cables and it was the same thing. But yeah, there you go. I hope this video kind of helped, gave you an idea what else you could do with this thing. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Bye.